So I feel like I've lived 3 lifetimes. I've been married twice. After high school, I served 11 years and 7 months in the Army. At that time, I got a divorce and became a single parent. I left my career with the Army, went to college, 2.5 years. I got my bachelor's from UT Tyler, and then I went to work in the corporate world. I worked in the corporate world 10 to 11 years, and then that's when I just went off the rails. I came to a point where I felt I was in this downward spiral mentally and a little emotionally, but mentally. I lost touch of who I was. I didn't know what my purpose was, and maybe strangely enough, the only thing that kept me grounded to a certain extent was my career. I loved what I did. I was an account manager, mostly with United Healthcare and Blue Cross, but I loved my job. I was good at it, and to me, it was somewhat an escape. I got to travel to do different things with different clients in different states, and so those 1 or 2 days that I was gone, it was sort of kind of an escape to me. And then, of course, when I come back home, I'm kind of back to reality. But that's where the downward spiral happened, right around that time, and then it just kept going and going and going, and then I just totally lost control. I had no idea what was going on, and that's when I committed my crime. I committed a crime in February of 2013, and it was a long legal process. One that was my fault. That was the worst decision I've ever made, but one of many bad decisions I made throughout my life. And so I committed my crime in February 2013. The legal process it was probably 20 months or so. February 2nd of 2014, I was already in a downward spiral, and this just took me rock bottom. I thought was rock bottom, this whole legal process. February 2nd, 2014, Sunday night, I tried to commit suicide because I was just done. I didn't want to be here anymore. It was just too much. I took a handful of Xanax, probably 20 or 30. I saved them up. The mental health at VA was giving me Xanax to help me out, and I saved up about 20 or 30. I took that, and I had some liquor, a drink, as much as I could of that. I woke up 2 days later. This was a Sunday. I woke up Tuesday afternoon, and I'm looking up at the ceiling, and the first thing that crossed my mind was I couldn't even do that right. I'm like, I can't even do this right. I mean, what in the world's going on? So come October 1 of 2014, I'm sentenced to 9 years in prison, and so off I go to prison. But little did I know that's where my life was going to change. I was going to change, and that's where God got a hold of me. I was in a place where He pretty much was like, "Okay, I got you now. The world is gone. You're out of the world. I've got you. You're cornered, basically, and so now I want you to listen to me." And strangely enough, I don't ever recall being angry with God or crying out to Him in a way where I was accusing God of anything. Even when my brother was killed back in 2009, I don't recall ever doing that except in that moment. And it was a question of, God, am I that messed up that I got to do 9 years in prison? And the answer that I got back was, yeah, you're, and we all are, because Paul says there's not one righteous. But, in my mind, I thought, hey, I'm a pretty good guy. I served in the Army. I was a single dad. But the only problem was I got into a lifestyle of alcohol and womanizing after I got divorced. And it's a process to get to that point. You just don't wake up one morning and go, hey, I'm going to be an alcoholic and a womanizer. You don't do it. This is something that takes place over time where, it starts with the alcohol. Then you start with cheating on your wife, and then it just kind of goes downhill from there, and snowballs. And so I was leading this kind of a lifestyle, just being a complete jerk in that sense, and again, mentally, I just went downhill pretty quick, which led to my crime and 9 years in prison. Then the Lord has done a wonderful work on me. He blessed me. He kept me safe. He put people in my path, resources in my path, to spiritually grow me, to show me how to study His Word, to show me how to pray. I mean, it was like a whole boot camp, about 8 years and 10 months of a boot camp that God put me through, and I am grateful for that. And that sounds strange because I was in prison, but I am so grateful for that. And so I prayed as I was getting ready to get out of prison. I prayed to God, please put me in plant me in a church that's going to accept me, that's going to receive me with love, that's not going to hold me being a felon against me. And this is where Pathway comes in. And so Pathway was an answer to my prayer. I prayed to God. I just wanted a church that would open their arms to me, take me in, and have that fellowship to where I could spiritually grow. I have such a hunger for the Word of God. I wanted to be with like-minded people and not be rejected. And He answered that prayer with Pathway. I knew from the very first service that I attended at Pathway, the Spirit told me, this is your home, this is where I want you. It was my very first Sunday, and there was a new members class that I was invited to just to sit in and watch. That's all I was, the question was, do you want to sit in and just observe? Sure. Well, that was prior to service. When I left service, I was, the Spirit just says, hey, this is your home. I actually became a member that day. And I was so excited about this that the packet we were given that's got all the names of the contacts for the different service, to serve acts and so on and so forth. If I didn't start on that Sunday afternoon, I did on Monday. I started reaching out because I just wanted to be a part of everything. Paul says in Romans he was obligated to go to Rome to preach the gospel, right? He wanted to share that grace and share the gospel with the Christians in Rome. I wanted to do the same thing. I feel obligated to do this now. I want to show that same love and grace that God has shown to me. And so I try to get into as much as I can, to be honest with you. And I know there's some who are concerned about me being burned out, but it has been an awesome experience with Pathway. The Lord has opened those doors for me at Pathway. He has connected me to people that I can fellowship with, and we can iron sharpens iron. We can come together and learn from each other and grow spiritually. God has opened up doors at a couple other churches that I thought would never be open. It wasn't even on my radar, and I had the opportunity to even preach, which was a shock to me because that wasn't on my radar. But it doesn't matter to God what you think is on your radar. God's going to show you what He's going to do with you, and that's what you're going to do. So I'm so blessed to be at Pathway. I am so blessed with the opportunities that Pathway has provided for me. I love Pastor Kelly, Pastor Danny, Pastor Ricardo. They are such great men of God that you can approach them and talk to them. And you can call up Pastor Kelly, hey, do you have some time? Can we meet? He'll meet with you. He'll talk with you. We've had great conversations, and I love the conversations that we have. He's even open to my text messages, which I think he made a mistake when he said that I could text him. But it's just been great. Pathway's been great to me. God's been absolutely great to me, and I just want to thank the Lord first and foremost, and I want to thank the Pathway family for making my transition from prison into my new life, into this new creation that God has created me. You guys have made it so smooth. So thank you.